it's Cindy with Blue Shore Vacations. I wanted to come to you today and talk about a question I continue to get all the time, every day. People want to know where they can travel, and they want to know what it's like, how to get when you're getting there, and how it is once you do get there. It's just a lot of questions about that. So we're going to talk about that. I made some notes. And if you're not ready to travel, it's totally fine. When you are, give us a call and we'll help you the same way. Okay? So, but for people who are, and I'm getting a lot of questions about it, here we go. So Todd and I took a couple of trips this fall. We did 2 road trips and we flew once. So I have some things about both of those. The first road trip, we drove to see our kids. We drove to northern Iowa to see our daughter's cross-country meet. And we drove to northern Michigan to visit our other 2 who are living and working up there. So in the car, obviously in the car, we're just us by ourselves with our dog. And the other stops we had to make, potentially interacting with people, we stopped at gas stations, and really not a lot of people. I think one gas station in Georgia, we were in the Atlanta area, was a little busy, but it was in a busy, congested part of town, and we were kind of close to rush hour. So that kind of accounts for that. But everywhere we went, people were pleasant and they wore their masks. If that's what it was in that state, they're doing it. So that was nice to see. For meals, we did drive-throughs. We never ate in. We just drove through and got our lunch or dinner and kept going. For staying in the hotels, because we drove really far, we really still didn't run into people there either. You know, there was the front desk agent. Nobody's hanging out in the lobbies. And when we just went to our room and we left. In fact, one time we didn't see any other human beings outside of the person that checked us in. It was just in the room, spent the night, out of the room in the morning. It was great. So that's kind of how that is. On the other road trip, we wound up at the beach in South Carolina, and true, it was off season. It wasn't like a holiday or in the summer when it's really busy. But at the time we were there, the couple times we were on the beach, not a person within 200 yards of either direction. Occasionally somebody would walk by. All right. So that's a great place when you're not at a resort. You're just going to, this was a state park beach, and then the other one was in the town. I can't remember if it was a state park or not, but we had a really good experience doing that. And we live in Colorado, so that was a very nice change of pace. We haven't had a lot of those this year, so that was really great. I do have a whole video about flying, our experience flying, and I'm gonna post that on YouTube as well, so you can check that out. We just talked about airports and their experience on the flight. So there's going to be a whole nother video about that. So you can go check that out. Okay. The rest of what we're going to talk about is a little bit about actually Disney. People ask me a lot about Disney. And when we were in Florida, we did get to check out the parks for a couple of days. And it was set up for fall. So all of that was very normal. What was different, obviously, they've had to make modifications to make it safer. And although they're allowed to have their capacity at 100%, they're really taking it one step at a time. Right now, as of recording this, they're only using 35% of capacity. So 65% people that could be there are not there. So they're really keeping the crowds much smaller than they potentially could be. Overall impression, I hate to say this about my grocery stores at home, but Disney was cleaner than my grocery store at home. You know, back in the beginning of the pandemic, we can walk to the Target right over there, and you walk in the door and they're cleaning the carts and handing them to you. You very rarely see that anymore. And no one's out cleaning in the store. No, it's just business as usual. Some spacing in the line at the checkout register, but really that's it. They're not even counting people. Maybe they are at yours, but at ours they haven't been. So when I get to Disney, and these are the things that we noticed, 100% compliance on masks. People are wearing their masks in the park, and nobody's trying to get away with anything. They're wearing it. So if that is a concern for you, you can know that that's what they do. Another thing is they have on the lines where you're going to be in line for something everywhere, they look like stickers. They must be some kind of a sticker on the ground, and it says, stand here. Please stand here. And then the next one, 6 feet later, please stand here. So when you're in line at Big Thunder Mountain, you're going through the normal queue, but it reminds you where to stand. And people did. People did not crowd each other. Also in the lines and on the rides, if there are rows of people in front or next to in front, they're skipping a row. So you would have lots of space. In other rides, they're putting plexiglass. So like on Big Thunder Mountain, they were skipping a row. I think on Small World, they were skipping a row. And then we rode Soarin', for example, and they had a plexiglass secured in the middle of the row. Is it 10 seats across? So some on this side and some, so you could have 2 different family groups of 5 or less and separated, safely separated. So that's been how they're handling that. Dining's also been modified. Okay, so there's no lines at the dining. They're doing a thing where you scan the menu, you go to the restaurant and you scan the menu and you pull it up and you do mobile ordering, and then they tell you get a notification when your meal's ready. So that, you don't even have to stand in line. You can go shopping, you can go watch a character cavalcade going by. All of that is an effort to keep people from standing close to each other, and it worked. Nobody was. We also did a sit down, a table service meal. We ate at the Plaza restaurant at the end of Main Street on the right side in front of the castle. We like a sandwich. We had sandwiches. I think it was lunchtime. And the tables inside are spaced. So they removed half the tables. They're not even there. So lots of space, no crowding. That was how they did it. Also, additional dining available outside, and those tables are even spaced. They also had a couple locations in the parks. What did they call them? Relaxation stations. And spaced tables. It's a temporary location. So in the Magic Kingdom, I know the one we saw was in Frontierland, kind of between Frontierland and Adventureland. There's like that area, and there's a wall or a fence or something, and inside they had this tables spaced out, and you could sit and have a snack out of your bag or from somewhere, and you could take your mask off if you were sitting at the table. So if you needed a break from it, you could do that. Okay, let's see. In the gift shops, oh yes, they are counting people, so they are keeping the capacities appropriate in the gift shop. So in the bigger ones, we didn't really ever have trouble getting in, but in the smaller ones, they really could only have a small number of people. So you go to the entrance and just wait. It was never more than 3 people. And then as people left, the cast members have an app that's keeping track, because there's someone at a different door. That's where you exit, and they're marking when people exit so that this person at the entrance door can let the right number of people in. I just thought that was brilliant to have the little app, and they're not yelling at each other. Yeah, it was very, very smooth. They have hand sanitizer stations at the entrance and the exit to every ride. It was really impressive, and everybody did it. They wash your hands before you go, wash your hands when you get off. That's great. In addition to that, they have these portable hand washing stations, almost look like plastic, like Little Tikes or Step 2 kind of a thing, and a pump, water, soap, and paper towels, and trash can. It's all right there. So if you're kind of in between and you need more than sanitizer, you really want to wash, you don't have to go all the way to the restroom. They have them periodically in between those spaces. So there's other options for that. They had doors opened everywhere, either propped open for good or a cast member standing there holding it, greeting people, giving instructions, answering questions. And then the most interesting thing that they do that I had not thought of was all of the trash can doors, the lids are propped open. I don't know how they're staying stuck open, but you could go for hours and not touch anything. The doors are open for you. The trash cans are open for you. You don't have to touch anybody in line. You know, the railings are there and they're cleaning them. Oh, I forgot to say, in the lines where they're snake you back and forth like this, they've installed plexiglass up. So from the railing up. So you're really distanced from the people sideways. And then also because of the stickers on the ground in front and back. The stickers on the ground front and back does make the visual impression that the line is really long because everybody is really spread out over the course of the whole queue. So don't be intimidated by that. If you're going, don't be intimidated by that. Read the digital boards, and they're still keeping up with that. I did find that every single ride was shorter than the digital time that was posted when we started. And I don't know if that's a new thing or the way they're counting, or we just got lucky. But if it said 40 minutes, we were there maybe 25. It was not bad at all, which is nice because they're not doing fast passes right now. They're just doing everybody stand in the line like it used to be. And it's keeping the crowd away from each other the best way that they can, I think. I just felt like at Disney, there is a tremendous effort to keep guests healthy and clean. Anywhere you look, you could be standing anywhere in the park, any park, and just look around you and you'll see at least one person or a group of people sanitizing, cleaning. They're washing things that I would have never, and it would have never dawned on me to wash that little shelf down there. But they're doing it multiple times a day. The rides are being disinfected multiple times a day. So that's what I say when I say it feels cleaner than my grocery store at home. They are really, really actively working on that. Some other ways that Disney is accommodating capacity numbers and protecting people from having too many people in one place, temporarily not having the big shows. So like Indiana Jones or Finding Nemo, the musical, Lion King, the musical, those big, large theaters where people are crowded together, temporarily not having those. They're also not doing one-on-one character interactions. So there's like, you can go get in line for the princesses or Mickey Mouse or whatever, and then you hug them and you get this autograph. Instead of that, they're doing some really creative ways. So behind the castle, there's like a balcony above where the people are, and periodically throughout the day, different characters are coming out. Cinderella's fairy godmother and the stepsisters come out and do this whole really funny thing up there. And then other times, other places, they're doing something called character cavalcades. And basically what that is a tiny little mini parade, one or two floats with some people walking in front to kind of guide the crowd away, and people walking behind. If there's horses, they have like the scooper guys with the cart. And so the characters are right there. They get to wave at you and you get really up close without having to sit on the curb for an hour and a half and stake your spot. And if you're there when they ride by, everybody gets a front row. I really think that is turning out to be a really adorable option. Another way to see characters, there are a few character meals happening, and I can help you pick which one's going on. And they're periodically, the characters will come out to some music and they'll do a little, arm choreography, and then they rotate, and then so if there's 5 characters, so like at Topolino's at the new Riviera Resort, they'll have Mickey and Minnie and Donald, and anyway, the characters, do their little number. And so at your table, you'll get a chance to be close to each of the ones that are there that day, and they walk by and then they wave, and it's just really cute. So in the absence of the ability to do the normal things, they're kind of coming up with some really creative options, and I've loved that for people. So that's the information for you on that. I wanted you to know our experience, and you can decide if that's good for you. I told you, people are traveling now. I've had the people already go. I have clients checking into Disney today. I have more clients next week. More January 1st is another group I have checking in at Disney. So that's exciting, and they're going and they're having their fun. and I'm getting calls all the time. Lots of people are booking now and traveling later. So in 2021, I've even had some inquiries about cruises in 2022. So if that is more comfortable to you than like going this week, that's a great option. And companies, Disney especially, have really worked on their flexible cancellation policies. So gone are the days of harsh penalties if past a certain date. They're being very flexible, so we can dig into your particular destination if that's what that applies, what that looks like for that particular destination, because they're different. But it's really been nice. So you can book with confidence that if it has to be a date that has to be adjusted for whatever reason, there's a lot of flexibility going there. I'm having a lot of fun right now with my clients that are going, that have booked, and they want to put it, a tangible item under the tree. And so we've had some fun creating some things that they can wrap and give it as a gift to someone on Christmas or on Christmas Eve, whenever they do their gifting. And that's been really fun. And I can't wait to hear the stories of how all of that unrolled for those families. And I got some kids that are going to be really surprised and excited that they're going like right away after Christmas. And if it's something that you are ready to think about planning, give us a call. You can jump on our website, www.blueshorevacations.com, and go to the page that's called Plan Your Trip. And there's two forms, Plan Your Trip form, and then there's a Plan Your Disney Trip form. It's just, you're gonna give me some information that will help us have a good first call. So then we can talk about what your questions are, and you have space to write all that. We just get the ball and the conversation rolling, and you can plan it ahead and wait until it's time to go when you're ready. So that's what people are doing. They're booking now and they're traveling later. A lot of people are putting it under the tree. That's up to you. We are here. I hope this was helpful. If you have other questions, please feel free to reach out. I would love to continue this conversation and help you figure out what is best for your family, for your vacations, and your memories of a lifetime that you're ready to make. Okay, that's it. Have a great rest of your day.